too intense. Some thought I was insane.
I started to feel bad about moaning. I got quiet, polite.
I made noise into a pillow. I learned to choke my moan and hold it back like a sneeze.
I began to get headaches and stress-related disorders.
I was becoming hopeless when I discovered women. I discovered that most women loved my moaning. But more importantly, I discovered how deeply excited I got when other women moaned, when I was responsible for other women moaning.
I made love to quiet women, and I found this place inside of them, and they shocked themselves in their moaning.
I made love to moaners, and they found a deeper, more penetrating moan.
It was a kind of surgery, kind of delicate science, finding the tempo, the exact location.
Or the home of the moan. That's what I called it.
Sometimes I found it over a woman's jeans. Sometimes I snuck up on it off the record, quietly disarming the surrounding alarms and moving in.
Sometimes I used force, but not violence, oppressing force. More like dominating. Just relax, don't worry. I'm gonna take you someplace. Just enjoy the ride, type of force.
Sometimes it was simply mundane. I found the moan before things even got started. While we're eating salad or chicken. Here it is, like that with my fingers. Real simple in the kitchen, all mixed up with the balsamic vinegar.
Sometimes I use props. I love props.
Sometimes I made the woman find her moan in front of me. I waited. I stuck it out till she opened herself.
I wasn't fooled by the minor, more obvious moans, no. I pushed her further into her power moan. There's the clip moan.
The vaginal moan.
The combo clit vaginal moan.
The almost moan.
The right on it moan.
The elegant moan.
The gray slick moan.
I wanna love somebody! The wasp moan.
The Jewish moan.
The African American moan.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh
The mountaintop moan. The baby moan. The doggy moan.
The uninhibited, militant bisexual moan.
The machine gun moan.
The tortured Zen moan.
The diva moan.
The college moan.
I should. Oh, I should. Oh, I should. And finally, the surprise triple orgasm moan.
mention of birth. This was a bizarre omission, but then again, a male journalist recently asked, "What's the connection?" Our author, Dee Ensler, was present for the birth of her granddaughter. She was in awe of vaginas before that moment, and she is in deep worship now.
I was there when her vagina vagina opened. We were all there, her mother, her husband, and I, and the nurse from the Ukraine with her whole hand up there in her vagina, feeling and turning with her rubber glove, as she talked casually to us like she was turning on a loaded faucet. I was there in the room when the contractions made her crawl on all fours, made unfamiliar moans leak out of her pores, and still there after hours, when she just screamed, suddenly wild, her arms striking at the electric air. I was there when her vagina changed from a shy, sexual hole to an archaeological tunnel, a sacred vessel, a Venetian canal, a deep well with a tiny stuck child inside waiting to be rescued. I saw the colors of her vagina. They changed. Saw the bruised broken blue, the blistering tomato red, the gray pink, the dark. Saw the blood-like perspiration along the edge. Saw the yellow, white liquid, the shit, the clots pushing out all the holes, pushing harder and harder. Saw through the hole. The baby's head, scratches of black hair, saw it just there, behind the bone. A hard, round memory as the nurse from Ukraine kept turning and turning her slippery hand. I was there when each of us, her mother and I, held a leg and spread her wide, pushing with all of our strength against her pushing, and her husband sternly counting 1, 2, 3, telling her to focus harder. We looked into her then. We couldn't get our eyes out of that place. We forget the vagina. All of us. What else would explain our lack of awe? Our lack of reverence? I was there when the doctor reached in with Alice in Wonderland spoons, and there, suddenly, her vagina became a wide, operatic mouth, singing with all of its strength, first the little head, then the gray flopping arm, then the fast swimming body swim quickly into our weeping arms. I was there later, when I stood and turned and faced her vagina. I stood and I let myself see her there, all spread, completely exposed, mutilated, swollen, and torn, bleeding all over the doctor's hands, who was calmly sewing her there. I stood, and her vagina became a wide, red, pulsing heart. The heart is capable of sacrifice. So is the vagina. The heart can forgive and repair. It can change its shape to let us in. It can expand to let us out. So can the vagina. It can ache for us and stretch for us and die for us and bleed us into this difficult, wondrous world. I was there in the room. I remember.
In the dream, he comes and sits across from me at something that looks like a table, but has a constellation of stars painted on the top of it. He's wearing his old yellow sweater that he used to wear only in the house. And he looks uneasy, older than I remember, and sad, really sad. I remember this sadness. I lived in this sadness, like a Like a virus, I gave my body to him to make the sadness go away. He took my body to make the sadness less. And when that didn't work, he made me as sad as him. But here now at the table with the stars and the falling galaxy that seems to come alive between us, I know surely that his sadness belongs to him. And for the first time, I don't move away or towards. I don't move at all. I feel strangely confident. I look up and realize there is a vast circle of thousands, maybe millions of people sitting around us. And we are in something like a Colosseum. The people are patient and quietly waiting. Some women are knitting potholders, others red flags. A few men are leaning forward in their seats, smoking cigarettes. Some are wearing strange hats, almost like they are clowns. These are not the kind of people my father would have talked to, and they know this, but they are not unkind. Suddenly, my father gets annoyed, and then he just opens his mouth, so natural, so easy, and receives my river of pain. He swallows it whole, and the people start cheering wildly, cheering and singing and dancing. I can't take my eyes off of him. My father becomes so full, his cheeks bulging in red, almost about to explode, not able to take much more, and then these red tears begin to pour down my father's cheeks. I'm a little scared. It looks like he's crying blood, but the people are still cheering. They're so encouraging. This goes on for a while. My father crying and crying, blood, red, tears. And as I am looking at him, because I can't stop looking at him, he suddenly becomes a boy, and he isn't sad. He's dazzling and clever and playful. He takes me by the hand, angry, the way he used to get, really angry, impatient. And he says with a mean face, "What are you looking for, Evie?" He seems so small, so fragile. I know I am not meant to save him. And then this silence descends, a jar of liquid light around us, holding us, containing us. And out of nowhere, this dirty, bloody, transparent clot, filled with sharp noises and scraps of cruelty, starts coming out of my body, out of all the parts of my body, pouring out of me, gathering into one huge clot. And it floats like a murky rain cloud, hovering over my father's head, like it is expecting something. My father takes a beat, looks up, and walks me out into the center of the Colosseum, which is now a field of wild, high, ticklish grass, blowing in an almost hysterical wind. And we just start jumping and jumping, crazy jumping. I can't believe how high we are jumping. The earth is a trampoline, and I am not afraid to go higher and higher. When I wake up, I think, oh, this is it. This is justice.
Until the most marginalized are held in the center.
Until the dots are connected, the silence is broken.
And the story is told.
Until each part of this struggle is integrated and whole.
Until the law is a breathing thing.
Until every violence
Is part of the violence we seek to end.
until every caste, every race, every sexuality and gender, until there is one story, until we stop forcing poor women into buildings on the verge of collapse, or into garbage sites,
Or into back alleys to make a meager living. Until we stop sending raped women home to places where they are raped again.
Until we stop destroying and seizing the land of the indigenous.
Until we honor the women who were murdered and beaten and raped in wars, in cities,
military barracks, refugee
in
camps,
homes, churches,
in colleges,
in schools, on buses,
in marriage beds,
in forests,
in work fields,
and offices.
until we refuse the occupation and excavation of our bodies, our bases, our fields, our resources, and our hearts. Not with more bombs,
Not with more death,
not with more pain.
until each violation is uttered and each hurt is shared, until the layers of memories and oppression are uncovered and bared,
Until the law serves the poorest and stops protecting the mighty.
until all are held by the same standards,
Until all women rise in the knowledge of their value and rights.
outside courthouses, police stations, government offices, embassies, military courts, workplaces, places of worship, homes.
Until we release our shame, our guilt, grief, pain, humiliation, and rage. Until apologies and reparations are made by governments,
Leaders,
husbands,
boyfriends, brothers,
fathers, priests,
mullahs,
ministers,
uncles, bosses,
corporate heads.
until we refuse anything that does not include all.
1 billion will rise for justice.